we have a cross.
So, last time we played Black Book, we took control of young Vasilisa here, who decided to become a witch to save her fiancé, I guess, from hell. And her fiancé apparently is said to have killed himself, but we don't actually know that. And for that reason, they buried him outside of holy soil, which meant he would go to hell. And Vasilisa is trying to rescue him from there. So she went to hell herself to become a witch, and is studying under old Igor. And she's trying to break the seals on the Black Book, which would enable her to fulfill her wish. It's a very powerful book. It allows us to fight demons, chorts, as they are often called. Yeah, we have broken the first seal very early on, just by touching the book pretty much. And now we are trying to break the second seal, which is also referred to as the Aspen Seal. And for that reason, we are trying to save a changeling girl, a girl who got stolen by demons at a very young age and grew up in the realm of the demons, kinda. And we now need to give her a name, a cross that has been worn by a demon, and a belt that has been woven by a powerful witch. We managed to get a cross from a demon who was possessing a little girl. We also managed to save the girl by actually exorcising the demon from her, and we now made that demon one of our familiars. So next up we're gonna be looking for the belt. Old Igor here already knows a witch. She's called the Spinner, and we'll probably see that in just a moment.
You see, Vasha, ask and ye shall receive.
Big deal. A demon's cross. Societkas don't shun crosses either, I presume.
But on the other hand, we could do without this rattle box chort.
Alright, I forgot to mouse over that text there. Societkas are like house spirits, like guardian demons of the house, something like that. Not all these chorts or demons are necessarily evil, but they do tend to have a hang for mischief, even if they are not straight up evil.
Why are you calling a rattlebox?
Hush, Proshka. Don't be angry, Grandpa. He may be of use to us yet.
All right, we'll see if it works out. All that's left for you is to get a name and a belt. Which will you start with?
So we have already tried once to get a name, and the end boss for that quest was really rough. So I'm gonna start with the Spinner here and see
Well, let's start with the belt.
what that has in store for us.
Very well then. To the Spinner. Vasilisa and I are going to see the Spinner. There's nothing for you to do there, Kolya. Understand?
Sure did.
This here is Kolya or Nikolai. He was actually the one that brought our attention to that changeling girl, because he in a test of courage, kinda like went to her place, an old abandoned bathhouse, at midnight, and got caught by her, and he promised to marry her. And even now, he's still okay with going through with it. And we're trying to kind of help her. Well, I'm not actually sure what we are trying, what we will achieve in the end, but kind of just save her from her current fate.
And one more thing. Don't say anything about the banya or the bride.
The banya is the bathhouse where he met the girl.
The spinner can't stand demons, though she looks like one herself. Got it?
Let's ask about the spinner.
Who is the spinner?
A woman of sorts. Her name is Kapitalina Ivanna, but everyone calls her the spinner behind her back. She's quite knowledgeable. You don't want to mess with her. That's why I am coming with you. Don't go running your mouth. Speak nothing of the book. Got it?
Okay.
What should I say to get the belt?
Good question, Vasilisa. Keep your ears open when you speak to her. Remember, do not mention demons. She does not like them. And you might as well disregard the fact that we needed the belt for a changeling girl. Now, if you show you are of knowledge, that would be good indeed. If she doesn't like you, or should you let anything sleep, the cost will be more than we can handle. Got it?
Okay. I think it's just a cloth and belt woven by a
Understood,
powerful
Grandpa.
witch.
It's time we were on our way.
That's a requirement for the ritual, kinda, to save that girl. We also have to give her a name from the holy books. So we have to consult with a priest for that.
Yes, it's better go to her at night. I've arranged a cart for us.
Do you have any Kupala salve left?
If I only knew. We could fly, but feet will do. And another thing. There's this rich fellow, Petrov is his name. He asked me to check on his field. Says demons are ruining his crops. It's not far from Pintek. It so happens.
Okay. So, let's have a look at our charts. These are our demons we currently have under our command, our familiars, basically. We need to keep them occupied somehow, otherwise they will start to pester and torture us. So we just have to give them tasks, even if they are kind of meaningless. But they do earn some money for us that way, but they will also cause some sins for us. So they are doing some bad deeds while they're out there. So we have to kind of balance that a bit.
Old houses and banyas are often home to demons. The masters leave, but don't always take their host spirits with them.
You've been telling me how you got your Khaldun power.
Right, where were we? So, I became a shepherd boy. He taught me this and that at first at Prakopi.
So a Khaldun is kind of a sorcerer.
That one time, the cattle had wandered all over the place, and my chief turned up drunk. Drank a whole bottle of vodka. He couldn't move a muscle. Well, what other choice did I have? I went to collect them by myself. Managed to get almost all of them as midnight drew near. Had to pass Mikhail's crossroads on the way back. You know how that place is.
That's actually where we had our initiation ritual to become a witch.
So there I am, with the kettle tagging along. The moment I stepped onto the crossroads, everything turned upside down. Winds out of nowhere, and what you know, swarms of shorts. Figured I'd quickly draw a circle around me, and so I did. And these shorts were just swarming on the edge of the circle, all sorts, you name it. Well, I think that's it. Everything turned out all right, as you see. Next time I'll tell you how I got out of it.
Hi, Karis, welcome. Glad to see you.
What sort of spirits are those Bonics?
Bonics are. We first thought that the changeling girl was a Bonic, which is kind of a spirit or demon of an old bathhouse.
Masters of the bathhouse, like a Susietko in an izba.
Susetko is a house spirit or hobgoblin, lives under the hearth or in the golbets cellar. An isba is a traditional house. Nope, I didn't try the tough boss yet. Yet. I went with the other path of going for the cross. And managed to get that, and then saved my game. And here we are trying to get the belt next.
I don't think it was an ordinary place, the Banya, before the worship of God.
What do you mean, before God?
I mean that our ancestors used to be worshipped the spirits of the hearth. Some Perm people still call upon Yan or Voipil.
God demiurge in Komi-Permian mythology? Voipel, a god in Komi-Permian mythology. The name is translated as North Wind. Let's talk to Proshka.
What do you want? Can't you see? I'm all cozy here on the sleeping bench. I'm sleepy. Ask what you wanted. I need to sleep. Got tired.
This is the Ikota, a spirit that possesses other people, who possess the little girl.
What kind of demon are you, Ikota?
That's how fiends are called. Ikota. If they possess people, that is. You know that. Wish to learn more? Any demon can become Ikota. Climb up in someone, got it, that's it. People will call you Ikota. Bet you can do it better than me.
Wanted to learn more about you. What were you doing before Akulina?
Akulina is the girl we saved from Proshka.
Alright, I'll tell you. It's a long story, mind you. I've told you before, I used to be a Susietko. For quite some time I've lived there. The Transfiguration Church was built how long ago? Must be over 200 years. I am wise and old, you see. So you'd better heed my advices if you know what's good for you.
Never seen cats any wiser, that's true.
Good then.
Maybe you'll stop swooping your fur all over the Isba in 200 years, eh?
What? What about it? None of my concern. I have to look after the household anyway. You could have fixed the bench yourself, by the way. It creaks as hell.
Oh, I'll show you, you damn short.
Wait, Grandpa. You will do a better job, won't you, Proshka?
Sure, I bet one alright.
What with the church, then?
So about it. I've stayed at Susietko there from the time it was built.
You were Susietko over there in church, or were you from some other place?
In the church, I remember that well. But what was there before that building? Damn it. Can't quite remember. Let's talk a bit later. Maybe my memory will return.
Why did you transform into a cat?
Cats kill people. For protection, that is why.
Do they?
Well, what you looking at? Scared, eh?
Yeah, right. Cats give no quarter. It is good that our father Tsar's army keeps them in check.
So you don't believe me then? Let me tell you one story.
Got a new story in our book.
Let's go. We'll talk later.
That can help sometimes getting us information on how to approach certain demons or charts.
We should tell everyone about the charts we've met. You know, to warn the good people, right?
Everyone knows, but not everyone believes. How did you end up with a cross?
Oh, it's nothing.
Yeah, right. There's no such thing as a cross with no story behind it.
Oh, he gave away his medal. He had a cross medal, and we needed the cross from the little girl, so he gave his cross to the little girl in exchange.
All right then, I'll tell you.
And I thought he just meant like a cross necklace, but he actually was talking about his medal, apparently.
We were near a town. Plevna, it's called. It was a real massacre there.
Did you encounter any chorts there?
Worse, the cannon fire was so loud that all the chorts fled, if they were any. It seems they all fled here, to the north. So, there was this redoute ahead of us. Couldn't take it.
Redoute?
Well, it's a kind of a fortress. No one could get any closer.
And what about you, being such a gallant lad?
Hey, no jokes. Listen, I think God helped me. I went from the side and then found some barrels full of gunpowder and lit them. They blew up, started a fire. There was a lot more ammunition there. A lot of our enemies burned that day. I can still hear their screams. I suppose I will to the end of my days. I nearly died there myself. Since then, when I see a fire, I remember that redoute and those screams.
That makes sense. We already noticed how he was afraid of fire.
I fished the cross from the river of blood, Vasil. Are you happy now? Do you understand about the fire now? Ah.
What are you going to do with your new bride?
Well, we'll get a farm. We'll get folks from the village to help. Well now, I'll build an excellent izba. And children eventually. What a life it will be.
You deserve it.
Be careful though. Who knows? The Bannock might be back.
That's good. The mother-in-law is always welcome.
No,
It seems that you're the fiercest of them all.
I like him.
Let's go. We'll talk.
Okay. Well, let's have a look at our black book. This is our deck currently. We have one avoil, 5 block, well versed. So it gets +1 effect on for every page that we use that is the same color. Avdelai is just 5 block. We have 2 of these. We kind of want to replace them with something better once we find something. Gria, this is our main damage engine. We have 3 of those. Deals 2 damage. Fierce 2. Amplifies its damage by 2 every time we use a page or a card of the same name. So that's why we have a few of these. I could probably craft another one, but I don't know if I can even have more than 3 in a deck. I might try that. We have Nava just to help us out a little with damage. Deals 2 damage, is well versed, so for every black card we have it deals an extra damage, and it is firm. It remains active for 2 turns, so the turn we cast it, it deals damage, and the turn afterwards it deals damage again. It also counts as another black page for well versed cards. We have Varaheil, 2 block, Bless 2. Bless increases all the damage we deal by the amount we have, but goes down by 1 every round. Salmanida heals 2, removes negative statuses, just as a good utility thing to have. Then we have, these are our orders, we can play 2 orders in a turn. And we have a couple of keys, we can play 1 key in a turn, so we have a few less of them. We have only 4 keys and 9 orders. Raha, 3 block. Amen, Piety 5. Piety increases the block value from all our words. And is firm 1. So it continues until on to the next round as well. Then Koldun Fiend, a well-versed 1 damage card that removes positive statuses from the enemy. Actually just 1. But still nice to have. And In Father's Name is another firm card, so it goes for 2 rounds and gives us Ward 3. Ward increases defense at the beginning of each round by the amount of ward you have. And then, well, it blocks for 3 at the start of each round, but it goes down by every round. So it blocks for 3, then for 2, then for 1, and then runs out. But it does have firm, so it does actually stack up to 5 the next round, because you lose 1 and you get another 3, which is pretty nice. And it does actually benefit from Piety. So Amen and In Father's Name together are kind of our defensive engine, so to speak. Let's see if we can make another Gria. It costs me 11 rubles. We actually can. Nice. I'm gonna replace the Nava then. So our damage engine is just for Grias now. Seems like I could add even more. We can have anywhere between 13 and 33 cards in the deck, but I have not yet found a reason to go above the minimum card amount. Except I guess to have some more access to like utility cards. But for the core like aggressive and defensive engine, I definitely want it to be as small as possible, so we can get that online as soon as we can. We also have some passive effects, items. We have Hearthclay that gives us 5 block on the first turn, so we have a bit of time to set up. Here's Akulina's Cross. We can actually, well, we could equip that, but that doesn't do anything. We have the Life of Baraskeva the Friday, which increases piety we gain from cards by 2, which makes Amen very strong, and Devil's Finger, which just gives us 4 max HP. We also have a few others that we could swap in, but currently these are the most useful ones I have. This is our encyclopedia, where we can find information about demons and places in the world, and some stories. These are sometimes useful because sometimes we need like we have knowledge checks, kind of. We have to have the right information, and we get a choice of different ways to tackle a problem, which can have impact on the story and can also give us some extra experience. We're level 4 now after defeating Proshka, so we do have another skill point to spend. Right now I went for a reduced cost of creating pages and seeing an additional page or word after a fight. Instead of picking between 3, I get to pick between 4. Drawing additional cards is certainly nice. What else? Getting the short specialty would be nice. Meaningless jobs, yeah. Demon Gifts is actually a pretty good a good additional income, I suppose. Number of active slots for items is also really good. There are so many good things. I don't think I really care too much about shop prices though. At least not right now. Number of items used per turns, meh. Extra gifts from visitors, increased damage and defense. This one we will get automatically on level 5, which is a big deal. It increases the number of orders we can play per turn. I think I'm gonna go for the additional item slot. That gives us one more slot where we can equip a passive item. I'm gonna go for the Antique Mortar, which increases the healing of herbs and healing Zagavors by 1. Zagavors are spells. These are made up out of these pages. We will see that in a moment, when we have our first fight out on the road. Here is the roadmap. We are aiming to head to the Spinner's Hut. I think for once we are not actually starting from our hut. There is a book merchant out here, but I don't really have much money at all. We might visit them anyways, just in case there is something we want, and we can
You have
buy.
goosebumps, a sign of a devilish presence. You look around. Your only companion is humming among the silence. Suddenly, a dark figure steps out from the shade. It is a scribe, a Zagavr dealer.
Yeah, I need to give missions to my chords, but they're all still busy currently.
Be wise and go forth. No literal serve as your daily bread.
Okay. Let's see what you have. Key tongue. Gesture. Still no idea what cantillation is. We have found that gesture doesn't trigger poison. That's so far the only real use I can see for this card. Lock, just firm 3, that helps increase well-versed effects, but it doesn't have an effect by itself. George the Father isn't bad, with just bless 3. Boosts your power by quite a bit. And Babushka Serafimushka. Heals 2, well-versed, and increase the amount of key cards you draw next round. Nothing really that exciting. Most of these cards I have already seen from combat rewards and have had the chance to pick them up. We don't need to play all the cards we pick up. We can just
you catch
keep
a
them.
whiff of the disgustingly sweet smell of rot. Cold fear enters your soul when you guess what might be the source of the smell. A human body lies nestled in the grass. It is already unrecognizable from decay. You see an old wooden cross upon its breast.
Okay. So we don't have to play all the pages we own. We can have some of them just stored and not put them in our book, so we don't draw them in battle. So we can just pick up some pages that are more situationally useful, or like for more suited to another build than what we're currently doing. That is nice. Let's bury the
You
dead.
dig a small grave and push the dead man inside. You read a prayer and continue your journey.
Got rid of a sin. Nice. Salma marshes. People rarely venture into these marshes since they're not really inhabited by anyone. Various spirits have made this area their dwelling. Let's explore.
You see a small demon sitting on a hillock. In his hand, he is holding a snake by its tail, swinging it from side to side. A swishing sound of the snake's body and its angry hissing fill the swamp area.
Let's wait.
You watch as the demon twirls the snake above his head. It seems as if he'll never grow tired of it. Suddenly, the snake slips
Whoops.
from its claws and flies right at you. It's clearly angry. Worse yet, the demon runs after its toy.
Uh-oh. We have not gotten there yet, Dabigod. We are trying to find the second piece that we need to free the changeling girl. You are trying to poison me. I really don't like that, especially considering I have Salamida in my hand right now. What is your ability, Igor? Curse 4. That is extremely nice. You curse this this chart. Curse reduces the damage they deal by the amount and ticks down 1 each turn. And we go for the snake. set up the piety so we have better defense. And now all these spells we cast in a turn, that combined is called a Saga War. Or all the pages we read. So poison. For every page I read, excluding gestures, I suffer 1 damage. I'm not even sure if I can block that, but luckily I drew into Salmanida again. So that helps. And we use Raha to block. Here is the Amen, because it's firm, it still triggers 1 more time. Gria will finish off this snake. I'm gonna block against the chant and set up a ward, so I don't have to care about defense anymore after that point, because the ward will just have me defended very easily there. With Igor providing curls for us, I think we might just be in a position... Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna... I feel like you hold on to some cards that you don't play. I'm not entirely sure how that works. We still had the Koldun Fields. Was it a Varaheil and the Avoil that we held? Well, let's find out. We're gonna use a Gria and a Koldun Fiend on this target. And we're holding Avoil, Salmanida, and in Father's name. Yeah, with the Ward and the Piety together, we are pretty much invulnerable from this point on. We still have the... yeah, we still have these cards. So we only draw replacements for the ones we actually play. That is good to know. Is that the exact set of cards that the book merchant was trying to sell us? Let's get a charge. Okay. Take care, Possum. Petrov's Field, that's over there, huh? Usturolka village. Village near Kama River.
Despite the late hour, sounds of celebration are coming from the village. It turns out that a festive dinner has dragged on and turned into a non-stop festival. You notice the worried host, who looks like he can't wait to say goodbye to his guests.
No. Let's offer him some help.
You offer to disperse the festival for the host. His distrust of you vanishes when, after a couple of your Zagavers, furious winds send the suddenly worried guests scurrying home. The host rewards you with some of the dishes from a banquet table.
Nice. Got a little bit of money there. Old idol. Talk is somewhere in the old woods stands an old pagan Permian idol.
Bathing in the moonlight, a moss-covered idol is hidden among the tall trees. You walk closer and see a fresh towel wrapped around it. The forest around you is silent.
What is this Encyclopedia entry about. Cherdin mythology. Not gonna read it right now, but wanted to see what it was about. Road to Pjatnik. People rarely venture into these marshes. Since they're not really inhabited by anyone, various spirits have made this area their dwelling. Similar to these marshes down there.
You meet a girl walking in the direction of Pjatnik. In her hands, she clutches a spindle that is emanating dark power. Old Yegor smirks, another of the spinner's victims.
Oh?
You call out to the peasant girl and convince her to get rid of the cursed spindle. Surprised, the girl follows your advice.
Nice. One more sin cleansed. Grimwoods by the spinner's home.
You freeze with horror. A dead girl is dangling from a spruce tree's gnarled branch. You can't move. This strange fruit sways back and forth with a creak in the cold wind. She died recently.
Oof. That's rough. What did we find out here? Vekshitsas. The word for witch, Vedma, takes its root from the word Vedat, to know, to have some degree of knowledge. A Vedma is traditionally a woman versed in knowing and performing magic. They were often called Vekshitsa, from Veksha, squirrel. It is a phonetic distortion of the word Veshitsa, Vedayushaya, one who knows. According to Cherdin mythological text, such a woman could turn into a squirrel, allowing her to enter a house through the chimney and steal an unborn child from an expectant mother. According to the same text, witches often gathered atop a mountain to celebrate by roasting children over a fire. Witches performed black magic, cast the evil eye upon people and livestock, stole milk from cows' udders, and shared knowledge of love spells and love potions. Love magic is akin to black magic. They could be the wives of coldoons and draw magic from their husbands. In Cherdin Uyezd, they were believed to appear as regular women, and were seldom depicted as the ugly hags that feature prominently in Europe. As knowers, they were able to communicate with charts. Let's summon her spirit.
As soon as you draw a circle, two demons burst from the skin of the hanged girl. It seems that demons have reached the body before you.
Well, prepare to fight the demons. Two charts from the woods. We are gonna curse the weaker one and are trying to get rid of the stronger one. I am gonna defend myself with Raha so I don't take damage this turn. These just on the road battles are quite simple so far, but we're also still quite early in the game, so let's set up the in father's name. Do we want to do... Well, we would take damage if we went with that. Let's go with a double Avdelai here. For 10 block. It should be pretty easy to defend once we have some ward up. Gria is doing 6, and the second one will be 8. Let's go for the kill here. We don't have a defensive card. Actually, what would a Koldoon Fiend do? Not 5, that's for sure. Yeah, we should go for the kill. I will play Aemon and just take the 3 damage. We can easily heal that back up. with the Salmanida. Let's target you. We're already defended by our ward, so let's go for some more damage. And our next Gria will finish the battle. Curse has run out, but his ability is back up again. Not that we need it. This Gria will end the fight. I think I'm gonna pick up some AoE damage. That might come in handy at a later time. Before we go to the Spinner's Hut, let's visit the optional task here. This is a large and rich village, the center of Pianteg Volost. There's an old church of the Epiphany, and it's notorious for being haunted. There's also a new one, that of Ilya the Prophet. Okay.
You feel at ease as you walk down the welcoming street of this village. A calm silence surrounds you. You almost pass through the village, but the silence is broken by loud laughter and the sounds of an accordion.
Vasilisa, is that you? Come on, join us.
I don't have the time.
Come on, your work is such a bore. 5 minutes here won't kill you.
Let's listen to the song.
Alright, I have a little bit of time.
You sit by a house and dissolve in a deep song.
Let's move on to Geltoft's settlements. Near Pianteg, there are several small villages scattered throughout the nearby forests and woods. Seems like a nice place to live.
On the field, you hear the steady sound of digging. Coming closer, you see a peasant moving the border of a field. The man looks startled when he sees you approach. He stops and calls out to you.
We also get these songs that we listened to in our encyclopedia, so we can listen to them again if we want to. It's a pretty nice touch. I do like them. I like that they are in here. Yeah. It helps with the
you, Igor?
immersion.
It is I, with Vasilisa. God bless.
God bless. What are you looking at? I'm moving the border ditch. What of it?
Why are you moving the border ditch? You moved it quite far.
For good reason. The Petrov's workers caused me nothing but grief. They deceived me, shot me in flour. Only they didn't steal in broad daylight.
Have you spoken of it at the village meeting?
I have. Not much good it did me. Petrov's folks silenced me right away. I'll tell you what. If you curse the demons, I'll pay you.
Curse the Petrov man, trick the peasant, attack, or leave. We only have your account to go on. I'm not sure I want to curse them. Cursing someone is pretty hefty.
Alright, consider them cursed.
So we just trick him, telling him we curse
You
them.
whisper a few cryptic words and make expressive gestures.
That gives us a sin
They
because
won't
we
be able
tricked
to say a word at the next
him.
village meeting. You can be sure about that.
But
Thank you. Finally, some luck going my way. Here is some money.
You take the money.
actually,
Go on
cursing
your
someone
way.
might have given us more sin. I am not sure what a good way to resolve that is, but like, yeah, you just have to make a judgment call there. Do you believe what he says or not? And he didn't seem like the honest type to me. There's no shortage of waterfalls and ravines when you travel around Jardin Uizest. They say further to the west there are even the mountains that surround the region. Oh yeah, Pedrov is the rich person that
Near a
asked us to
small
investigate
forest
our
creek,
field.
you find a grassy meadow. Among other vegetation, you see one beautiful flower. It's blood red and bright even in the moonlight. You come closer and tie its stem with a silver thread. With a swift pull, you now have a new, valuable herb, Adam's Head. You take the herb and get ready to go on your way.
It's just a healing herb. We have plenty of those, but they are always nice to have. The Spinner's Hut. There's a witch hut just outside Piantek village. The Spinner is a powerful and famous knower. Even in Vilgard, some people have heard of her. Some of the girls have gone to her for love potions. Old Igor doesn't offer such services.
The closer you are to the house of the spinner, the more ominous the woods get. The decaying trunks of pines and spruces tower over the path like silent guardians. Your blood runs cold every other moment. You feel that the border between worlds is very thin in this part of the forest.
Let's look around. We have some yarn on the ground. There are bright strings of some kind on the path. Anything over here? No, that doesn't seem to be anything by the entrance. But I do see a herb over there to the right. Peter's Cross removes poison or waste. That's very nice to have. Before we talk to old Igor, let's look around some more. There are some more herbs. Turlich herb. Articulacy orders 1. Increases the number of scrolls in your Saga War for 1 turn. Oh, okay, that's actually quite powerful. Quite a grim place. It's places like this that give witches a bad reputation. Well, like, not just that, right?
You approach the skull hanging by the door. Suddenly, the bony head starts shaking. A burning coal that serves as an eye socket stops you in your tracks.
Oh joy, and Noah, are we? Finally, some fun. My eye isn't what it used to be. Who's that old timer over there? I think I know him.
Will you let me pass to see the spinner?
With pleasure, but I'm ordered to test Noah. If it were up to me, I wouldn't be hanging around here in the first place. Anyway, we'll do it just like in the fairy tales. I'll give you 3 riddles. Solve any one of them, and I'll let you through.
Oh, just any one of them.
Solve none, or refuse to answer, I'll take one of your eyes. I'm short one, you see.
Oh dear.
I'd say that's the least of your problems.
Yeah.
Well, are you up to it?
Let's
I
look
want to
around
look
first.
around first.
Let's talk to old Eagle
So,
first.
how do you like this Isba? Ours is quite a bit cozier, isn't it? Go speak to that skull. He's a doorman of sorts here. That's the spinner for you. Always thinking up something crazy.
What do you mean, speak to the skull?
I mean that it used to be a Khaldun. The regular folks aren't likely to chat with it. We, knowers, are used to this sort of thing. It's something new the spinner thought up. Skulls such as these used to hang on the trees around here like effigies of sorts. This one is used as a kind of test. It would be best if you passed the test. This woman knows me, you see, but she's not familiar with you.
Okay.
What's with the yarn on the paths?
You see it, do you? Ordinary folk don't. The yarn binds some poor Christians to the spinner. It's a strong and dark sorcery. You had better go and speak to the doorman.
What else should I know about the spinner?
Hush, child. These skulls report every little detail to that witch. Keep your lips sealed.
Okay. Well. Oh. There are many different skulls and charms.
Ready to solve some riddles?
Fine.
Have it your way. Ask your riddles.
Listen to the first one, girl. There is a hamlet, folks packed together tight. Come morning the cock sings, yet no man stands upright.
There's a hamlet, folks packed in tight. Come morning the cock crows, yet no man stands upright.
Cemetery.
A cemetery. Proper dead men do not rise from the graves.
Correct. You solved the riddle. Only that man don't rise in the morning. Believe me, I know. You may pass, or you may try to guess another.
Sure.
Let's riddle some more.
Listen to the second riddle. Lame chicks sing along, dry wood they haul. Wound up in a ditch, can't move an inch.
Voimchiks, a term that refers to priests who frequently recite Voimia Ortka Isina in the name of the Father and the Son.
Lame chicks sing along, dry wood they haul. Wound up in a ditch, can't move an inch.
That sounds like a funeral. I have no idea what a Maslenica is. We have any information about that in the encyclopedia? Doesn't seem to be anything here.
The priests are singing for the dead. It's a funeral procession.
This skull seems to like
Correct.
asking riddles connected to death in some way, so
I remember those songs. You'll hear them too soon enough. You may pass, or you may try to guess another.
let's go with the final
Let's
riddle.
riddle some more.
Steal a quine tale of twine.
Steal a quine
Steel
tail,
and twine, tail of twine.
tail of twine. Thread and needle? Will make sense? Yeah. Pretty sure it's that. A samovar is kind of a teapot of sorts. That wouldn't make sense, nor would a steam engine.
Well, that's easy. I'm here to see the spinner after all. It's a needle and a thread.
Correct. You guessed it.
Yep.
Look at you. You should know your riddles. That makes you a powerful witch. Well, you may pass. We can riddle some more. No eyes involved, just like that, for curiosity's sake.
Sure.
Let's riddle some more.
Listen to the fourth riddle. Walks with no legs, sleeves with no arms, mouth with no speech.
Walks with no legs, sleeves with no arms, mouth with no speech.
No, clock wouldn't make sense. You wouldn't say no arms. River? River would make sense. Yeah.
A river has sleeves with no arms and a mouth.
Nice try, but a river talks. Murmurs.
The shadow.
Shadow is the answer. I can riddle you another one.
Not super convinced on that,
Let me
but
crack one more.
The ship broke to bits over meadows and deeps, over cities and streets. No popes and no dukes can bring it anew. No money, no books.
Ship fell to bits over meadows and deeps, over cities and streets. No popes and no dukes can bring it anew. No money, no books.
whew, over meadows and deeps, over cities and streets. That would make sense for the sky and stars. No popes and... I'm just gonna go with my gut instinct.
The sky broke and scattered all the stars.
Correct? Well, I've no more riddles for now. In the darkness, you'll find some riddles you can solve with the words alone. And in the darkness, eyes will burn with a fierce flame.
What are you talking about?
Go to the spinner. I won't delay you any further.
All right then. I'm off to see the spinner.
Oh.
Evening, Kapitalina Ivanovna.
Okay, you're definitely quite creepy.
Evening to you too, Yegor Yevlakovich.
The voice of the spinner is quiet and smooth, like the rustling of pages in the Black Book.
Brought you my little orphan. Became a knower recently, this one.
You sure did. But what are you thinking, poking around in my business? You took my spindle. It was doing my bidding, you know. I let it slide on account of you not knowing and all.
God bless, Kapitalina Ivanovna.
I see you're a fine girl and a smart one. Yes, I heard your replies to the riddles. To be a knower is not all demonic affairs. So why are you here? Not just to check up on an old woman, I should think.
Should we talk about the other things we saw? Guess we can talk
We
about
met
the
your
skull.
doorman. What of that skull?
Some lousy Khaldun. And Yeretnik, God rest his soul.
Eretnik. An evil sorcerer cursed to return as a ghoul and haunt the living.
Hasn't served his time yet, so he helps me around the house.
Well, I guess that's better than haunting the living.
I wanted to ask you about this yarn you have here and around the house.
This witchery is not yet for you, Vasilisa. In time you'll learn, perhaps. It's not the same as sending fiends for milk, mind you.
I'm not gonna confront her about the deck girl.
I need a woven belt. A powerful one, Kapitalina Ivanovna.
Yes, I know you came for a belt. Only why would I give one to you?
Old Igor warned me that I should watch my mouth around the spinner. How should I answer her?
Well, we probably shouldn't tell her about the girl in the banya. Igor explicitly told me not to, so...
You're known all across the Uyezd for weaving the best belts, Kapitalina Ivanovna.
So I am. You aren't here without reason. I can indeed make good belts. You've become a knower, so I'll give you an enchanted belt. So what are you going to do with your chorts?
How am I supposed to answer that? I really don't know what to do with them.
She doesn't like demons, so I think she prefers if we say we torture them instead of use them to grow in power.
Well, make them suffer, of course. Give them some back-breaking work.
That's how you should treat them. Torment those filthy creatures. Only knowers can do some good. Well, turns out you're a good knower, girl. I'll give you a belt as a gift.
Nice. 200 experience as well.
Here, it's a good one. Later, I'll put you in touch with a pupil of mine. A fine man. Maybe it'll work out for the two of you,
Thank you for the belt, Kapitalina Ivanovna.
Well, thank you, Kapitalina. See you again sometime.
See you soon. Farewell.
Okay. We got our belt. That was pretty easy.